What's going on, everyone? It's Kyle Henderson of Bama Football on YouTube. Tennessee has defeated the Alabama Crimson Tide in a game up in Rocky Top. This was the fear that we all felt, the anxiety that you felt when you look at the game stats of this game and you see what Tennessee was able to do at home. You look at the fact that Alabama, you kind of look to this box right here, going to halftime with a lead of 7-0. And Tennessee made some really good adjustments, and you see that they outscored Alabama in the second half by a score of 24-10, right? So let's look at the particulars of this game. And if you're just joining us and if you're just watching, what I want you to do right now inside the comment box is list issues that you see with Alabama. Alabama has now dropped 2 SEC games. We are not smoking cigars, all right? We are not smoking cigars. We'll throw that cigar over there. What do you think are the issues with this team? So we've listed a poll, and we'll post it inside the comment box as well. Is this on Coach Jalen DeBoer and his overall coaching philosophy? Is it on Kane Womack? Is it on the defensive secondary? Is it on Nick Sheridan in the play calling? Or is it on Jalen Milroe? And I asked that question, I think, from this particular game. All right. Now, Alabama hasn't beaten Tennessee in 2 consecutive games, right? T, will you let me know when you have that? All right. And one of the things that, you look at is Jalen Milroe. I mean, look, he did not have his best night. Right? I mean, this guy and the way that he's played in the last 2 games, I mean, it just hasn't been it. You start to look at the direction of where is he going as a quarterback. I mean, following the game against Georgia, people talking about him being a first-round draft pick. Tonight, we're starting to question, will he come back to Alabama next year for an additional season? 25 of 45. 239 yards, a touchdown and 2 interceptions, and 2 costly interceptions. You look at the interception, and I still don't understand. In Tennessee, they're charging the field again. You start to wonder why Alabama threw that first pass in the end zone when they should have been running the football with Jam Miller. By the way, we don't have an injury update on Jam Miller. But they throw a costly interception, which takes away points. Alabama has one last opportunity to go downfield, and he forces another interception. 2 bad interceptions this game and 2 bad interceptions last game. Clearly, defenses are eating him up. And you know what? To be honest, I feel that the offensive play calling from Nick Sheridan, I don't like it either. There was one particular drive of this game where they were running the ball with Jam Miller, and they scored a touchdown. They went away from that, and they went to throw and throw and throw and throw and throw. Let me ask you this, right? Who are they going to throw the pass? Who is Jalen Milroe going to throw to? Tonight, on my screen, Ryan Williams, it says he's been targeted 18 times. I think he was actually targeted 22 times tonight. I'm not a defensive coordinator, and I know who he's going to throw the ball to. Ryan Williams is definitely the best wide receiver in college football. But if I know who he's going to throw the ball to, you would think the defense does too. There's a lot going on with the offense tonight. Jalen Milroe clearly not going the right direction. And look, he's a pro football player. He's making more money than Nick Sheridan, and that's just it. He's got to find a way to turn things around if he can. Nick Sheridan, you start to question him. He was a tight ends coach last year. This isn't the Pac-12, man. This is the SEC. We were riding Coach Kane Womack. I thought the defense, they did a good job in the second half, but you know what? Tennessee really ate up Alabama in that second half. They really did. Dylan Sampson, that guy is an absolute beast. The guy completely dominated tonight, and it's tough. I didn't think that Alabama would be in this position to lose another game in the SEC. I would imagine that this team is out of playoff contention. And let me ask you this. I know it's a hot question. Do you think that Alabama needs to try another quarterback? Seriously, you got to ask yourself. Do you think that Alabama should try another quarterback going forward? What are you fighting for? What's the direction of this team? I'm curious to see what happens. A couple more things that I want to hit on. The defense, the secondary, man, I don't know. I have never seen more receivers being beat. And if this quarterback, Nico, could throw more accurately, he would have thrown for 4 or 5 touchdowns tonight. I can't tell you. I have to rewatch it, but I would imagine like 7 or 8 times with wide receivers behind defensive backs. Some of the guys look slow. I don't know where these guys are at mentally. It's just, these guys are getting eaten up. And I can't even imagine when they play LSU against Grant Nussmeier, who I think is a hell of a quarterback, and he's accurate. And they have better wide receivers, right? They have a wide receiver who transferred from here by the name of Aaron Henderson. So it's not it. A lot of people pointing the blame at different areas. I think there's a lot of different areas that you could point to. People, and this is the other thing too. How much is on Coach Kalen DeBoer as a first-year head football coach? I ask people, and there's so much people that continue to support him, and that's why I started reserving my opinion about Coach Kalen DeBoer, because people were like, well, Coach Saban lost his first year too, or this and that. Coach Nick Saban didn't inherit a team like this. He didn't inherit 5 stars and 4s. He had to build up teams. Look, this isn't the Pac-12, man. He's been questioned about being soft. He has been questioned about the way that he has a lax approach. He's been questioned in every single area. I honestly think it's time for him to really start accepting some responsibility for the way that this team is played, man. You were put in the best position with the best program in all of college football, and this is it. So what are you going to do, Kalen? Are you going to change your quarterback, right? Are you going to make moves? Seriously, because Kalen DeBoer has been able to dodge a lot of this because of his nice demeanor. You're losing games, man. This isn't the standard. You lost to Tennessee. Seriously. And I don't know why, but there's not a lot of people that point to Coach Kalen DeBoer. So I think it's on Coach Kalen DeBoer. I think it's on Nick Sheridan. I think it's on Kane Womack. I think it's on Jalen Milroe. I think the players don't have the same type of mindset. This is it. I mean, and I think that people continue to see that. That's why they are seeing Alabama as vulnerable. And I'm curious to see if this does affect recruiting. That's when things get really scary. Right now, Alabama is absolutely tight, right, in every asset, because you're still getting recruits and people. Everything is still great from that aspect. But when it starts getting dicey, is the recruiting. Alabama clearly has enough players and to win a national championship. Now you're like, damn, 12 teams make the playoffs. 12 teams. So, and the other thing is the penalties too. And look, some of the penalties, I don't even know how many penalties were really debatable. A lot of the penalties, the last penalty for Kendrick Law, man, you got to have enough discipline to not do that in a critical situation, right? You change it from what would have been a 4th and 7 to a 4th and 22. By the way, what are you running on a 4th and 22? And why didn't you punt? Man, crazy. It's sad. I don't like it. I'm disappointed. I think that Coach Kalen DeBoer certainly needs to face a lot of the music and needs to take responsibility for it. It's not okay. This isn't okay. Are you guys okay with this? I've seen a lot of people lately saying, I've seen a lot of people lately say, well, it's okay. This is just the way it's. I don't want to live my life like that. The team that I cover, the team that provides for livelihood, that sucks, man. It's not the standard. Take a commercial break, and we'll be right back on Bama Football on YouTube. If you're watching this, I appreciate you guys. Hang tight. Be right back.